Hey, Cody.
John.
Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday night. I didn't want to keep people waiting longer than expected. I know I'm always late, so waiting for someone to hop on. Let me say hi to everybody.
Do you want the north or the south one?
Hopefully they'll buy me some time.
You want the north or the south?
Leave me alone.
Which one?
Stop harassing me. Hi, Jay Freak. Hi, Becky. Hi, Michelle. Teddy. Susie B. Mel B. I'm gonna be John B from now on. Heaven's Real B.
You signed this one on the side? I did not even know that.
Pissqueak B. Wendy HB.
You signed my boob on the side.
Barbie
wow,
B.
Look at you.
Ruth Ann CB.
Sneaky.
John Yates B.
Oh, when you twirl it around it.
Upside down, twirl
circle.
around. Come on, defense work. Rach B. Shell 97B. There we are. Keela Bila B. Because everyone's got to be in this chat.
I got a B cup there.
Well, I don't like my hair. I like a gap.
I can make it clap. I got a B cup.
Nope. God, I can never be like a weather person because I can never figure out this side. Nope. I want to get there. We are. Okay.
Thank you, Bruce.
I'll always be Johnny Z Barbie. So while we're waiting for the mystery guests to come or not come, because I noticed that I made a big old stir about Amanda from 90 Day Fiance. Oh well.
Who?
The one whose husband just died.
No, but Amanda who?
Exactly. The one from the new show now, from before. Hey, Wicked.
That one?
Made a big old
stinker dink.
I did. Well, you know, it's me.
You made a stinker dink. Well,
I did.
Pretty much she did.
I sure did.
Bowling ball.
Funny thing about that, I had just spoken to someone today on Instagram who had almost an identical story to Amanda. I spoke to this woman today on Instacart. We just got back from Instacart. Sorry. My brain is like a little I'm texting this person right now. Sorry. Seems like this person who just reached out to me, who showed me some very specific things, is also a young widowed woman who has 2 kids, much like Amanda, and who is also dating a Romanian who tried to be on the show. And it's just so specific. I mean, and this person is showing me things, you know, I usually don't talk about things that I'm, you know, not certain of. I'm not saying I'm certain of this, but I mean, emails don't lie. And I'll read this out to you guys while I'm waiting for the guests who may or may not come. This is an email that this person sent to casting. Hello, my name is Boop. I am in an online relationship with a man from Romania. I am a young widow with 2 children from LA. We have never met in person, but we met on Instagram. We're a cute, fun, tattooed couple who have both been through different traumas in our life, and for some odd reason, we found each other right when we needed it. If you need any more information, please feel free to contact me. And then, production reaches back. It's just very specific. And they say, thanks so much for emailing in. We're very interested in hearing more about your story. We're casting for Before 90 Days, 90 Day Fiance, and 90 Day the Other Way. And I mean, what are the chances? I mean, obviously, it's just weird to me. It's just crazy. And I don't feel bad for anything I said about Amanda. I don't care. How could you say and sit here and judge how long people should grieve for? No. That's not my point. Some people get over things faster than others. In Amanda's case, lightning. I don't know. I don't know how your husband could die in late March of 2022, and then by August you're filming the show. And then were you texting him from your husband's wake? And my issue is with this is that it's the kids. They're 4 and 3 years old. Old enough to remember. I remember stuff from that point in my life. I know some people don't remember things when they were 6 years old. I remember pretty much. I remember my sister coming home from the hospital when I was 2. So that's me. Maybe I'm different. I don't know. But it is what it is. And she can listen, I watched my whole family die one right after the other. So I know, I'm very close. Well, not close. I'm very familiar with the grieving process. And I don't care if she grieved 5 minutes. What I find is odd is that this woman is giving the husband box. And her kids are carrying around the dead picture, the picture of their dead dad and with his ashes, and he's in the car going to the airport with them. It's, what are we watching? What is, I don't get it. Kids are saying, when's daddy coming back from heaven? And it's in your best, in your head, Amanda, you're thinking, you know what? My kids are asking me when my dad's coming home from heaven. Well, when their dad's coming home from heaven. So why don't I leave them and go to Romania for a month to meet somebody that we all know it's going to fail? Come on. We've been watching this show for a long time. And if Amanda and this Razvan guy get married and make it, I, much like Wendy Williams, will sit here and eat crow on a live. That's what I'll do. I will sit and eat crow if this is a real love story. Because you don't think when she's gone for a month that the kids aren't going to be wondering the same thing. When's mommy coming home? Is mommy in heaven? It's horrible. And I said I didn't want to talk about the show anymore because I was over it. And I said if I continued to talk about the show, I would be brutally honest. And then, people on Instagram are like, well, it's not our business to talk about that. No, it is our business. You put that on national TV. You're the one on 90 Day Fiance. Not me. You are. You are. You're the one whose husband just died. And you're leaving your kids who just lost their father to go be on TV with this. And like, does anybody think this Razvan guy is like genuine? And according to her, they broke up several times in the course of like the 5 hours they've been dating since her husband died. I mean, I've dealt with my share of idiots, with idiots who watch the show. But shit, like, tell me I'm wrong. You know what? If she didn't have the two kids who were asking her when daddy's coming home from heaven and carrying his ashes with his picture on it, and she's like, oh, well, make sure you take daddy with you when you go to the bathroom. Like, what are we watching?
A freak show.
Hey, Rita, hey, Wicked, what are we watching? And then the people on Instagram, and like, I posted that, and I just don't care anymore. I don't care. And then they're like, well, it's not our business. And, you are on my page. You're on my Instagram page because you want to know about the business of 90 Day Fiance cast members. Otherwise, you wouldn't be following me, would you?
Nope.
I mean, I have two Instagram accounts, one with 105, the other with what 25 or something like that. If you like, so I didn't search you out. You found me. You did. It's not our business to talk about it, but it's on TV. Just like the bullshit with Shaida and Bilal with the miscarry, the pregnancy. You put it on national TV. You're following me because you want the gossip and this, that, and the other about the show. But the selective outrage of people is just insane. It's just insane to me. So why are you following me if you don't want to know the business of others on 90 Day Fiance?
Because they want
Why?
to know your
Or
business.
Housewives?
They want to know your business.
Why? What? No, not on Instagram. And it's clear. People who want to know my personal business follow my official account. That's why there's like 25,000 followers on it, as opposed to the 105 on my main account where I talk about the shows. That's why I made two different Instagrams. But you're following me because you want to know everything about the show, who I'm going live with, what tea I have. But then, like, when it's someone that you want to latch yourself onto, oh, that's the limit, John. She can grieve whenever she wants to grieve. I'm not talking about her grieving, even though, like, I feel like the grieving process with her has been, I mean, if your husband died on March 19th of 2022 and you're already filming by August, that means that you've been talking to him. And someone in the comments said that they were doing Juneteenth things, so that's to June. So that's April, May, June. So that's 3 months. I don't know.
She was ready.
What a real love story. What a real love story. I'm going to call my guest. Well, give me 1 second. Don't leave. I'm just going to. And does anybody honestly believe anyone coming onto this show at this point is like, I've never heard of this show before? 90 Day Fiance, what's that? Like, does anybody believe that? I didn't, people who come on the show now, with their 48 spinoffs, which is on 24 hours a day on TLC and the Discovery, Plus app or whatever. Like, I didn't know that the fans were going to react the way they, come on. These fans of the show are like the worst people on earth. There's, we have some good ones, but like, I mean, I've been covering Housewives for longer than 90 Day, and I can tell you that the Bravo people, like, these 90 Dayers take it like 5 steps above anybody else that's on TV. So I don't care if you don't like what I have to say about Amanda. You know, oh, give me one more second. Hey, Brooklyn, sorry. And for me, like, maybe like it hits, close to home for me because, I did lose both parents kind of like at the same time within like a year of each other. And when I say lost, like my mom did pass away and, I was removed. I didn't see my dad. So I lost both parents at once. So maybe that's why I'm so annoyed by her because I was a young kid. I mean, I was 9. I wasn't, well, actually, it started when I was 6. So I was around the same age. But you don't know what it's like to when you're a young kid. I know there are people out here that do. But you don't know, for most, you don't know what it's like to lose a parent when you're that age and then like lose another parent right behind them. And then you're parentless and then your grandparents are raising you and it sucks. So probably why I'm so anti Amanda. If that never happened to me, I probably maybe I would feel differently. I don't know. But that's why I feel the way I feel about it. And all these people who are the same people who are like kids, 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 and then like they're like, but that's okay for Amanda to leave. Screw her kids. Let her get hers. And this is, it's not like she's like, she's a very attractive 31-year-old woman. Thank you, Brooklyn. Hold on. Let me get my slide whistle for you. I don't know where it is. Cody, where are my instruments? Got the bell. But for me, and this show is dirty anyways, like it's, but I can't see like, and I think I've gone toe to toe with a lot of people on my IG posts. I can't go to everybody because then I wouldn't be able to sleep. But let her do her thing and let her go. I don't care about how long it took her to grieve. Clearly not long. And it's not like when a pet dies, right? Maybe that's her MO. Like, oh well, when a pet dies, and I've told this to people who have lost animals, the best way to get over an animal's death is get another one. and you focus your attention onto the new animal and not the old one. But I don't think that really carries over to human beings. Maybe. I don't know. And I don't care, to be honest with you. I don't know her from a hole in the wall. So that's on her and how she wants to sleep at night. But for me, seeing those kids, and me and Cody were crying when that, they started off the episode, and they were talking about, the dad dying and the cancer and this, that, and the other. Both me and him were in tears. And I'm like, why are we crying at 90 Day Fiance? Holy, holy hell. And then come to find out that they're carrying his ashes around like he's still there. I mean, what a number she's doing on her kids. She's saying, when is daddy coming back? And they're carrying around the picture with him and his ashes and around the house. And that's why the kids are thinking he's coming back. And then leaving her next best idea was, well, I'm going to leave for 3 weeks a month to go to Romania to find this guy who I've broken up with several times in the course of their 5-minute relationship since her husband died. And she wants to see if there's any meat to it. Meanwhile, your two children who are very susceptible to anything right now, it just drives me up a wall. And it drives me up a wall for people to see, for that to be defended. So there's that. And I don't know if my guest is going to come up, because my guest was on their way home. And I don't know if they're going to make it, because that's the only reason why I went live tonight. Hi, Susie Bella B, Susie Bella 860B. So there's that. What's her name? Sorry, I'm looking something up real quick. And it's funny because I'm looking at Amanda's IG right now, and it's still the same. She actually lost followers, 2,500 followers. Going through her Instagram. March 21st. I hope my daughter always remembers the great man her dad was and looks to him as an example of what to expect from any man that enters her life. And then 2 days later, she's taking selfies in the gym. And again, it's your grieving process. Who am I to judge on that? I don't know. Maybe it's a generational gap. I don't know. Wait, May 8th. What is this on May 8th? What is this? Oh. Wait.
Beautiful. And if things work out, I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with her. Everything nice.
Wow. This just made me hate her even more. So we know that her husband died on March 19th. These timestamps don't lie. Oh my God. How is it that March 19th, her husband passed away, and by May 8th, she has a promo for 90 Day Fiancé Before the Other Ways on her profile? How does that work? That's 5 weeks after. Guys, go to her Amanda.Wilhelm _ You will see that on May 8th, they already had the promo for Before 90 Days that was already filmed. Oh no. So her channel. No, I get that, Rita. I do. I'm sorry if I didn't make that clear. He died in March of 2022. This is May of 2023. But this was already filmed and produced. Sorry. I'm just like going through her Instagram because I never really looked at everything on her page before. She has pictures of her kids, #no filter. You have to like do people like take pictures of their kids and like put filters on them? I don't know. I don't have kids. I'm still the guy that used to go to CVS and buy like the disposable camera. Me, I'd be a slobbering mess. January 27, 2022. April 3rd, 2022. This is 14, 17 days after her husband passed. These bombshell scrunch butt leggings are the perfect color for spring summer. I'm so glad I got them before they ran out of stock again. The scrunch is back. That sounds like to me like she's trying to like promote them. Like I'll buy a pair of jeans that I like, but like I'm not gonna be like these Levi 501s are so great. And working at the gym, I'm sure like that's a good way to like grieve and whatever. But like when you're promoting weird brands, I don't know. Nothing seems right about this to me. Don't know. Full body workout today. She says, I'm a great person who went through too much too young. Haven't we all been through something? See, what I'm seeing here, and I'm just being honest, is someone, sorry, allergies here, it's crazy. What I'm seeing here from looking at her page on Instagram is someone dying for attention to be noticed. With like the occasional picture of her kids. I'm gonna call my person one more time. Oh my god, we would go to Walgreens or CVS and get a disposable camera every time we used to go out, and so I have 8 million pictures. Hold on, just bear with me for one moment. Sorry. Well, I'm sorry about the delay there. I came live to have somebody come up, and they're not here, and we're 40 minutes in, and I don't feel like waiting all night.
Say something?
No, don't.
All right. Well, I think he's an asshole.
And I really have nothing else to say. I started off with the Amanda stuff because I knew that people were talking about it, but oh, wait, what do we have here?
Hi.
Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
No, different Julie. So, Julie, you reached out to me because of you had a story about 90 Day.
Yeah. So
Fill us in with tell us all about like what you went. I read a little bit what you sent me, so tell everybody what you know what you went through.
okay, so let me see, where do you want me to start? Like when I started talking to the 90-day cast, when I like reached out, or
Well,
like
yeah, like your situation, what made you reach out to them, like that.
Okay, so let me see. My husband he didn't die of cancer, but he was killed.
Sorry.
2017. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I was left with two children, two small children, and my situation obviously is a little bit different because I didn't jump into a relationship like right away. I actually waited a couple years before I started dating this person, and he's from Romania. He reached out to me on Instagram. We had a mutual friend, and so yeah, we just started talking. It took us a little while to start talking, and or it took us a little while before we actually met each other. I think a year and a half before we actually met each other. And so before we met each other, I was like, okay, like let's try and get on this show. I watch it. I love it. I'm a fan of it. Let's see if we could get on it. So I reach out to them. I give them all of our information. I tell them my story of how like my husband was murdered. I was left widowed with two children, and I'm dating somebody from Bucharest, Romania, and they reached back out like immediately. Like they're like, "Oh my God, we like your story. We're gonna have a producer call you." So I think it was like the next day, a producer had called me, and I told them my whole story of what had happened and the whole dating thing, dating a Romanian, and we went back and forth because I had applied actually for like all of them, like the
other way.
yeah, the other way, because I actually was like, well, let's just see what we can get on, you know. So I applied for all of them, and yeah, they're like, yeah, we're really interested in your story, but we want you for 90-day fiance. So when you guys apply for the K1 visa, reach out right away, you know, and we would like love to have you on the show. And at that point, I was like, I actually don't know if I actually want to marry him right away. Like, I don't really know him yet. So I wasn't ready to apply for the K1 visa, but I was definitely like open to doing the other ones. But they,
Well,
I guess,
before the 90 days, like what we're watching now that Amanda's on, with a very almost identical story to yours. You don't need the K1. It's about someone going to, a different country and testing the waters first and
yeah,
seeing, and that wasn't good enough for them.
right. So like that's what I was saying too, because it's like, well, we haven't met yet. And then finally, when we did meet, um, I had applied again because I was like, okay, we finally met, and you know, like you're missing all of this fun that we're having because we've had some crazy, you know, ups and downs with our story. I'm actually leaving to Romania on Tuesday to go visit him,
So
but
it's working out then. At least that's good news.
kind of, sort of, you know. I mean, we're off and on, and right now we're off, but we're gonna see how it goes when we're there. But yeah, I mean, we're just our story was very similar, and um so my sister, I stopped watching it because like I was just like, okay, this is like too much for me now. I can't like keep up with it anymore. And so my sister, she actually messaged me and she was like, "Oh my god, watch this." And she sends me a clip of the girl talking about her story and I'm like, I like that's my story. Like what is going on here? And so yeah, I see like he's like a TikTok star or something, like I don't know, whatever. And I'm like, I don't get like why they would choose him over me and
Is your man in Romania, is he like an entertainer? Like is he known? Is he trying, or is he just like a regular guy, like, just who met you and you guys have a relationship? Or is he someone who's, trying to like, catapult themselves into the limelight kind
he's
of?
not. And it's funny because it's like I'm the one who does like actually he does do like a little bit of modeling because he's heavily tattooed and in Romania there's not very many people like that. So they do use him in like commercials, but he's not looking to like be famous. Actually, it was like me the one that's like, oh, I model, I have a big TikTok following because I have a big TikTok following. And I have a lot of followers on Instagram. And so
How
I
long
was
ago did you apply for the show? Sorry.
how long ago? I think back in either 20 or 21.
And did you have that same following then?
I did, yeah. TikTok probably a little bit after I had applied. Like I just started TikTok and one of my or like a couple of my videos went kind of viral and then my fan base like shot up. Um so yeah, like, I'm the one who has the bigger following. And I was like, oh, I mean, we would be a cool story, because I went through all these traumas and like I'm from LA and he's just like this boy from Romania, like we just had a crazy story. And then yeah, just hearing that like this, I was like, oh my god, they're like using my story. I'm like, this has to be fake, like this has to be staged. And then his name is Claudio, the guy that I'm seeing. I was telling him about it and he's like, are you sure like it's not scripted? Because he's like, this sounds almost identical to our
Well,
story.
when you were saying that to me, I'm like, how, that's it's not common, right? Like, a young widow, two kids, Romania. I mean,
Right.
it's like getting struck by lightning twice, kind of type of
Exactly.
deal.
It's definitely not common. So that's why I was just like, I don't get like why they wouldn't use us because like we're cool looking, like we're both heavily tattooed. Um, we have plenty of drama between us. So it's like I just was like, that's kind of sick if they actually took my story and are like exploiting it like that. I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts on it.
Hey, bro, do you think like, I mean, like that can't be easy for you to watch. It's like, your story and you reach out to them. Like, I don't know when Amanda, well, I would hope that Amanda didn't reach out to them in 2020 when her husband was still alive. Uh,
Yeah.
and for me, like, I just don't understand, like, why they would just want you on regular 90-day to start out with, because that's weird to me. And I believe you. Like, and I have less than, I don't have much faith in the show anymore. So don't
Yeah.
think I'm trying to, like, say I don't believe you or anything, because I do. Um, but I just can't figure out why they would want you on just regular 90-day, like when you're coming, when you're supposed to be getting married and he's coming here. Is it your intention for him to come here and you guys stay here and get married and all that?
Um, so it is our intention to have him come here, but the thing is because I get survivor benefits. So if I remarry, I lose those. And it's like I'm not sure
No,
if
I get it. I get it.
we've actually never like lived together. So it's kind of like, okay, if I bring him here, like am I even going to want to like really marry him. So because we've never actually like we kind of sort of like I moved over there for like I moved to Europe. Like I just traveled me and my kids and we would go back and forth to Romania, but we were never there long term with him. So I never actually really got to like live with him full time. So it was kind of just like I want to see how that is before I decide to like marry him, give up the
Well,
benefit.
you're smart. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Like, good that you're doing that.
Yeah, because it's like I mean, I haven't really watched her whole situation, but it's like I would think, wouldn't her husband um leave her something and like they do take it away if you do get remarried. And I
Well,
mean,
for the
I don't
record, guys, this was not my original guest I was going to have up. It was somebody else, but
huh.
thankfully, Julia here came up, and because I was talking to her earlier. So this is not who I was bitching about being late. So just so you know that like this is not her. This is
Oh,
not who I was. My original guest was.
yeah, but yeah, so I haven't actually been able to like full on live with the guy, and because like I do have two kids, which he does get along with very well. I'm just kind of like I don't know if
Can I ask how old your kids are?
they're 7 and 8.
So young.
Yeah. I don't know how old the other girls' kids are.
Did you watch the first season? The first episode with Amanda. Did you see like the whole storyline? Because I would love to hear like your thoughts if you did on what you watched. You
I
being in the almost identical situation that she was in.
I haven't yet. Like I actually need to like sit down and watch it because like I recently just moved into a new place, so I haven't set up my cable and stuff yet, but um so far from like my sister, she's been sending me things like, "Oh my god, this is like you. Oh my god, look at this." And it's just kind of like okay, I need to see this. Like, I actually need to sit down and watch this because if they did steal my story, because from what I've seen so far, like I was this close to reaching out to the producers and being like, because I still have all of their
Well,
emails.
and you sent me a few, and I know you're legit. Otherwise, I would not have had you on. Like I saw it. You mentioned me like a few days ago, and like I didn't, I can't get to everything like at once, and I haven't been on IG much lately. But I'm seeing the emails that you sent them. They sent back to you in reply. So I know that you are speaking the truth. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Um, this is wild to me. Um, to fill you in, and maybe like maybe when we cover the show on Monday, if you want to start if you can watch, I don't know if your cable's set up by then or whatever, because
Yeah,
I would love to hear your thoughts on you're in an identical situation.
now I'm scared because now I'm kind of like, if it's too much like my story, I'm gonna be really mad because I literally opened up to the producers. I told them like I spilled my heart and my story out to them, and I told them like this is what I went through. It wasn't easy, and like moving forward, like trying to find love again, let alone love like across the world, which I wasn't looking for and expecting. Um, so for them to like take my story and use it, that would be really sick. But it's TV and it's trash TV. Of course, they don't care about people or anybody that's on the show or whatever. But yeah, I was actually like thinking of reaching out to them, but I haven't watched it yet. So now I'm gonna be like curious. I'm probably gonna be like bothered about some things now because yeah,
How long ago did you said you're, my God, I'm so sorry that you either the father of your kids, I don't know if it was your husband or what,
yeah,
that how long ago was he murdered?
it's been let me see 7 years, 2017. What are we right
So
now?
your kids were just like, barely
They were
born.
two when yeah they were 1 and 2 when he passed away.
Oh my God. That
Mhm.
I'm so sorry. That's
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was pretty brutal. Like my story was crazy. Like it was all over the news and stuff like that. And like people were even like, you should like, you know, tell your story or write about it, because it's like not something common that happens to people, you know? So, yeah. And then, it's weird, you know, going from like being married to like, you know, thinking you'll never find love again. And then you do find it, and it's like overseas. And that's why I thought like it would be cool for us to be on the show, because it's like, wow, like I went through so much and I had such a hard time. And like now here I am, like discovering love again. And it's like across the world, but it's like we're doing it and we were making it work at the time. And we have our ups and downs. It's very hard dating abroad. It's not easy. That's why I haven't married him yet.
Was there a reason why you decided to date abroad, or like, you're just like on an app and like you're like, oh, screw it, I'm just curious, because you listen, I've had my share of cast members on the show, but I've never had somebody who's actually lived a life who's not been on the show, and like you are going to be like as authentic as possible, at the end of the day, because you haven't been taped, you haven't been filmed, and you actually lived this, and you are actually dating somebody abroad. And like this is the most, I would love to have you on the show. I mean, like
Yeah.
what made you decide to was it you were just tired of American people, or like what brought you to that place?
Um, I think in a weird way, this is gonna sound dumb, but I
No,
think
it won't. I promise you it won't. It's my channel. Nothing sounds dumb here. I promise you. Go ahead. No judgments here.
in a way, I kind of feel like it's something I manifested, because you're right. I've said that. I'm like, oh no, where'd you go? Are you still there?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I've said that. Or like, oh, I'm so sick of like LA boys. They're just gross. They just want one thing. And I'm so tired of it. Like, I want to find a hot European. And like, this was just like stuff I would say to myself when I got tired of like, the dating pool here in LA. And it just so happened I was out one night with some loser that I let take me out on a date one night in Hollywood. We went to the Rainbow Room, and I met this tattoo artist that I had met from working years ago in a tattoo shop. We worked together at like a tattoo convention, and um, we were drinking, talking, having a good time. And he's like, hey, I'm leaving to Romania. I'm going to go teach like a master class on how to tattoo. And I am going to tattoo at this shop in Bucharest. And I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Like, what's the shop's name? I want to follow their Instagram. So I started Instagram, and the shop manager, he saw me follow the Instagram. He creeped on my page, thought I was cute, whatever, he started following me from his own
And
Instagram.
how long after that was, after your husband had passed? How long was that
It
afterwards?
was like I want to say maybe like, let me see, when did we meet? And we met, or we started talking, I think in 2020. So probably like 2.5 years after he had passed.
I would say a normal amount of time. I asked that because on the show, Amanda agreed for literally 5 minutes, and then she was already, that's why I asked that
That's
question.
like hearing and seeing online. Like a lot of people are saying that like he died, but like she already had the boy, or like they're saying like the timeline isn't right. And like to me, it's like I waited a few months before I like went out and started dating, but it still never felt right. And then of course I got myself a lot of therapy, and that's when I felt okay like dating. Once I went through like counseling and stuff like that. Because losing a husband is so fucking traumatic. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Trust me, girl. It's good. Go ahead. You speak. It's fine.
You're
Don't worry about
very
cursing.
beautiful, by the
That's
way.
my husband in the background. He said you're very beautiful.
Oh,
So there you go.
I'm just like off of work. I'm tired, but
So am I. So we're good. It's fine. It's all it's late night on a Saturday. Well, not for you. It's probably only 9:30 there. But
yeah, but
keep going.
yeah. So I don't know. Like, there's no way that I would even like have been thinking about like dating again like that soon after. Um,
and I don't want to ask how old you were, but like when that I kind of want to do because I'm trying to like
I'm open. You ask and I
how
will.
old were you when he passed?
So I was 29. The
Oh my god.
I
And she was 31. Oh, Jesus Christ, they really did take your story. Like this is insane because Amanda's 31.
Yeah, I was 29 when my husband passed away. And
Oh my god.
we met Claudio when I was like, let me see, how old was I? I don't even know. Yeah, we started talking, I think, in 2020, like when COVID hit, is when, like, that's when he actually reached out to me. But he had been following me since before COVID. Um, and then that's when we started talking, and it was funny because I always joked around. I was like, oh, like, the book, Love in the Time of Cholera, we're Love in the Time of COVID. And I'm like, and we fought like so hard to like meet each other because with all the COVID restrictions, and
Right. Yeah.
like it was a nightmare. Like he even got detained in Mexico when we met because since he's from Bucharest, you need
Oh my god.
here.
I don't mean to laugh, but like Andrew and Amira.
yeah.
Remember? Like he got this Amira was in what, France? And she got detained in Mexico. He went to Mexico. Amira, they decided to meet in Mexico because of the COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
And like, do you remember that story? Like, do you know?
Yes, I do remember that. And then he stayed there and had a good time without.
Yeah. Well, I don't like him very much, and he certainly doesn't like me. Yeah, this is insane. Like, but please keep going.
Yeah, so he like yeah, we met during COVID, and then he ended up getting detained. They released him, thankfully, and then we got to meet. Sorry, you can probably hear my
No,
kids.
it's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and then we got to meet, and when we met, it was great. Like we had like such a good time together because we spent
So
like
did like he get out of like in while you were in Mexico? Did like he get out of this, or did they ship him back to Romania?
they didn't ship him back to, they actually was smart, and he was like, if you don't let me out of here, I'm gonna call my embassy. Or like he was just like, let me have my phone call, like I need to call my embassy. And he was smart, he actually called the embassy. He told them his story of like why he was out here, and the people at the embassy were like, let me talk to the guard. They spoke to the guard, and like they let him out. They're like, okay, you're free to go. And then so we met. That
DLC missed out on this story.
did
Wow.
like a crazy story. And then yeah, they let him out. We had a great time in Mexico. Like um things were great. And then after we met here, I went over there and we had an amazing time over there. Like there's so much to do, so many beautiful places to see. And then of course, like the in between, the waiting to see each other, we fucking fight so crazy because it's like, when you want to see somebody and you can't. And also there's so much like insecurities that happen, with being so far. And just it's crazy. Like sometimes I'm like, we should just film this ourselves because it's crazy the shit that we go through. And like, how are we still even here? Like, it's mind blowing. Like, we're not together right now because like I just got so tired of doing the long distance. But yet here I am, like going over there this Tuesday. So
Well, I mean, like have your kids have your kids met him and or
when me and my kids moved abroad last year, we stayed in Romania for like a few weeks at a time, and they love him. He's really great with my kids. That's also another thing. Like I
fortunately for your kids, like they don't remember their dad, right? Like it's yeah.
right, I mean, they know him, they see him in pictures. I speak very well about my husband all the time. I would never say anything bad about my hubby. I love him still. And Claudio is
You
very
should.
of my situation, and he's never like, like I would never try to replace their dad. Like I love your kids, I want to be a friend to them, and like if we do get married, of course I want them to be my children, and he wants more kids as well, and I don't know, we'll see about that. But
Well, if you're, listen, you're trying to, I like it. I like the story. You're so much more believable than anyone I've seen in 90 Day Fiance, and I couldn't tell you how long.
oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh,
Uh,
sorry. Here, give me 1 second. Hold on, I'm on the phone.
That story than to hear all this other BS.
Do you need a second? I could
Oh,
drop
no.
you. You good? Okay.
Go. And close the door, please. And both you guys, please behave. Thank you. Love you. Sorry, let me shut the door. I need you quiet. Okay, go downstairs. Give me a second. I'll help you in a minute. They're just being silly right now because it's like summer vacation. They're excited to not have to go to school, so they're just happy right now, which I'm glad. I worked hard to have happy children. But
Well, someone in the chat, Coco said, it sounds like your story is too authentic for TLC. They like the BS stories that none of us believe.
I mean, I guess so. They like drama, which is funny. Him and I have plenty of it. Like they're, missing out on a lot, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, whatever, they're lost. I don't care. I mean, I kind of do, because like now that I hear that they're like using my story, it's really creepy. But
I mean, it can't be easy hearing this now, and it's like the stories are identical. Like obviously, we know that Amanda lost her husband. Like it's been proven, and there's the deep divers and all this stuff online. So we know that. But I mean, it's insane that you have two identical stories.
yeah, it's a little too weird. I mean, so also, when I'm there, you can totally, we can FaceTime you as well, and you can hear our story from him, his side of the story as well. It's just so astoundingly creepy to me.
You should be on this show right now. You would be the perfect candidate. I mean, Amanda is, and she's on there. I don't know why TLC would tell you, well, we want you on 90 days with the K1 process, but they have Amanda on. Yeah. Maybe because maybe you told them that, you were, you're in love. I'm trying to figure it out in my head.
Same here. I've also questioned that too. Why wouldn't you choose us? We totally look awesome. Our story is crazy.
And how old is Claudio?
He's 34 and I'm 35.
Oh, well, you're the same age. That's a big no-no on TLC. You have to be at least 30 years older or younger than the other person. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I have seen a lot of that on there for sure. I'm sure if I was an older woman and he was his age, it would be great.
But, again, with Amanda and Rosvan, whatever his name is, they are both young and, yikes, this is weird. I could not imagine being you and watching this, or you haven't watched it yet, but when you watch it, you're going to be like, oh my God.
I'm gonna I'm gonna be bothered. I can already tell.
I would be bothered if I were you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'd be bothered.
I'm nervous because I feel like if I see more things, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna lose my shit, and I'm gonna write you right away and be like, yes, this, and this, and whatever. I'm sure you'll hear from me very soon.
Yes, please do.
And before you came up, I was talking about Amanda and her kids. I'm I'm not a parent. But what I do know, why I'm so annoyed with Amanda is that I lost both my parents at a very young age. One by death, and then I was taken away. So I pretty much lost both my parents at once, and seeing, which you'll see when you start watching, when you get yourself hooked up because you just moved. Seeing her, it was March 19, 2022 when her husband passed away from cancer. And I mean, I don't know what's worse, losing a husband. I think you get the win with murder. You know, I mean, not that it's a competition, but like, you know, I don't know what is the worst way to die, but like I would say murder is probably like, you know, the worst. I seeing her leave her kids, you know, 4 or 5 months after their dad just passed away, and you know, you see them crying about like, when's daddy coming back from heaven, like that sits with you, and it reminds me of my past. But
Yeah, no, I went through that with my kids too. Like my kids would ask like the same things, like when is dad coming back? Or like they're like, where's dad at? Or like and I would just be like, oh, he's in the sky with the angels. And they're like, when is he coming back from the angels? And like,
so incredibly sad. I'm so sorry.
yeah, because they were like 1 and 2. And so my son was barely like talking, like he was 2, so he could like make sentences and stuff like that. My daughter was just like, she didn't know what was going on. And my son actually went through like this, he would get very angry, like being a 2-year-old, and he would just, and I couldn't help it because like I would be in the grocery store with my kids by myself, like shopping for them, and I had to drag myself out of bed because I had diapers to change. I had to feed my children. And then when I would go to the store and walk by something that I used to pick up for my husband every week, I would break down crying in the middle of the store. And then my son would lose it and start throwing things because he was mad that I was crying. And, it was hard. So there's no way that I could like leave my kids that soon after my husband passing. Like that's definitely like, if her story is real, if it's not my story, that she's using, but if it is real, that is pretty gross
I,
and awful.
I think they stole your story, but at the same time, I can't say that her story isn't real because it's been proven that he passed away. So like, I can't say like that this is a farce because I can't. You know what I mean? Like it's this. You know, it happened to her, and like you guys are like, I mean, it's identical. I mean, like, and like, what are the chances? You should go play lotto tonight. Yeah, and you'll probably win because this is the odds of this happening.
Yeah.
It's so wild. But maybe I'm sure that you said 2020, so I'm sure that you reach out to them first,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, I think on the emails that I screenshotted you, it has like the date on the top of them. And I think it's like either 2020 or 2021. I have a lot of a chain of emails from like back and forth that we have gone through. I would just have to go scroll back and go through all of them. And, but I've sent them our pictures. I told them my story, his story, our story. And yeah, so I guess it was just up to them if they wanted to use me or my story.
wow, it's a lot. That's a lot to wrap your head around, and I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. I like God.
I know. Like, I'm kind of shaking a little bit because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and I already know I'm gonna be like pissed off.
You're gonna be
If
pissed off. You are. I'm not gonna. Yeah, you're gonna be pissed off. I mean,
yeah,
it's the only thing I can tell between you and Amanda is that like you didn't. Uh,
you're so bothered. So
I'm
what's
I'm very triggered by this whole thing. I
yeah,
really am. I am. I'm probably the most biased person to be talking about this because it's touching with my own personal childhood stuff that I haven't had to think about in a long time.
yeah,
So that's why I'm so bothered by, and I'm like, I usually like, I'm a blogger. I've been blogging, about the show since day one when it first started, and for 10 years or how many years it's been. And, this storyline,
it's very triggering.
yeah,
Uh,
and it hit too close to home for me. And,
So
um,
I feel like I'm gonna be on like your level when I watch this because
yeah, you will be, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Yeah, you're gonna get mad. I'm telling you right now, you are. So like, pop a Xanax or have a margarita. Do what you gotta do. So like,
Yeah.
because you're gonna get pissed off. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get mad. You're gonna get mad. You are, especially like I mean, it's so weird. Like two identical stories, and they pick her.
Yeah. Sorry, my little munchkin is right here. But
And like, okay, so Jewel just said, I think they stole your storyline, Julie. Amanda isn't going to. Oh, hi, sweetheart. Hi, beautiful.
say hi.
Hi.
You're as
She wants
beautiful as your mother. Look how pretty the both of you are.
little munchkin girl. Um. So what were they saying? I think they sorry, is it going to want to give a survivor sit and she shouldn't. What? I don't get it. Hold
I think
on.
your survivor benefits.
Oh, survive. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was just like, I
Yeah.
can't do
No,
that because that's
I
what.
get it. You shouldn't. Like, until you're certain of like what's gonna happen. So, good for you for being smart. Um,
Yeah.
and is Claudio in a rush to get married to you and come here?
He's not. He actually, okay, so when I leave there, on Tuesday, we're gonna try things again. Sorry, I hope I don't sorry, I need to do this really quick. Okay,
Oh, it's fine.
so we're gonna try things again, and then it's working there.
Julie, give me 1 second. I'm being summoned by my husband.
Okay, I'm on the phone. You need to wait until I'm done.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back. Here I am. You there? Can you hear me? Am I frozen? Is it me? Am I frozen or Julie? Someone in the chat tell me. It must be me. If I'm frozen, it must be me. Oh, it's okay. Sorry. So in the beginning of this live, I was talking about like this person reached out to me. That was her. Although she was not the guest that I was going to have come up that I was talking about. So I don't want people. Oh, there she's back. Okay, here she is.
I am sorry. I think my
No, don't apologize. I was just telling people again, like you weren't my original guest, so I don't want people because I was bitching that my guest was late and never came, so I don't want people thinking it was you. That was it.
But yeah, so back to your question with Claudio. So when I go over there next week, we're gonna see if we still want this because we've been doing this for years. It just gets hard because we go like 6 months in between seeing
You
each
could
other.
have been on Before 90 Days for 3 seasons now, going back and forth. Like this is crazy that you're not on the show.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
So we're gonna see if the connection is still there, and if it is, then yes, I will be bringing him home with me. And on his visa that he has, he's allowed to stay here for 6 months. And within those 6 months, we'll see if I do want to stay with him and file for the K1 and then do the whole marriage thing. Because I have to know that he can like work and make money and support me and well, not
He
support,
won't be able to work once he's here on a visa. Like
right? Won't be able to, but we'll figure it out.
Because
Yeah.
you're gonna have to pay for everything when he's here. Like he can't
Right.
work.
Thing like I have two
Are
kids.
you prepared for that?
No, I'm not gonna do that. Like he needs to support himself.
But he can't.
So
If he's here, like I'm
no,
warning you. I'm just telling you.
like he'll lose his, visa if he is like working or whatever. But like while he's here, he's gonna have his own money. I'm not supporting him. And when he runs out of his money, he gotta go back. Like I'll
Okay.
pay for it back, but like I
No,
can't.
I just want you to know, like, and I'm sure you probably already do, like from traveling, and you watch the show, so but like it's even when you're doing the K1, when y'all when y'all sorry, when like the foreigner comes here, when they're waiting for the K1, it's
Yeah,
it's a while before they could like actually like
yeah.
get their papers and work.
Yeah, and that would frustrate me because like I already have two children. I don't need to take care of a grown man. But if he wants to come here with his own money, he can definitely do that. Another thing too is like, my dad would not accept me like, taking care of a grown, and I wouldn't either. Like I wouldn't want that. Like I want to be taken care of. I went through a
You
lot,
should be.
care of. Like I'm tired of being the mom and dad, So um yeah, and it's funny because like, I was talking about it with my grandma because my grandma has married people like 3 times so that like she married somebody so that she could get her papers here, and then she married two other people so that they could get their papers for here. So she was like, I'll marry Claudio. Like, so, and I'm like, girl, like, grandma, you're 75. They are not going to buy that. But I don't.
Oh, honey, wait. There's a lot. The 75 is like a spring chicken, in the.
And then,
There's people. I could think of a few people. Jenny and Submit.
right.
What's her name? Jabino Shama. Like
Oh,
it's not unheard of, is what my point is.
yeah, I guess. My grandma was just kind of like, I'll take one for the team. I'll marry him for you. But that's like a little weird for me. So, yeah, I don't know.
But listen, we usually do our recaps for 90 Day on Monday nights, like because they air on Sundays, and we usually go live on Mondays to recap it. And if you're able, I would love to hear your input just on the Amanda part. If I could bring you back up, and
Yeah,
then we know when we could talk about the Amanda parts, and I your stories are identical, so I think you'd have like a world of insight into that. And maybe you're not going to want to talk about it because you feel like she robbed you, and I think she kind of did a little bit. So it's up to you if you want to do that. But I
yeah,
think that a lot of people would love to hear like your thoughts on that situation. I mean, two young mothers who have two very young kids who are dating a Romanian, like, who better than you to.
right. But one mother reached out first to the 90 day about her story, So, yeah.
Yeah. And the invite's there. I'd love to have you up. And
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it and then, message me and let me know what time because you're on like a
9 o'clock on Monday nights. 9 my time, 6 your time.
okay. So where are you at right now?
I live in New Jersey.
Oh, okay, okay, cool. Um,
Um, yeah.
yeah, so I'm just like I feel like I'm gonna be so bothered and it's probably gonna because I'm
And you are gonna be bothered. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie,
I'm
you are.
because I'm flying to Bucharest the next day, like on Tuesday. So I'm gonna, just probably be sitting with this, like thinking about it, like perturbed. Like they fucking stole my story, and here I am back on a plane over there to see this guy that I've been seeing for so long, and you know, none of this greatness was being
But what I
documented.
can tell you, and it's probably like a blessing in disguise, is that like if the cameras were there rolling with you on you and like doing this, you probably still wouldn't be talking to them. You're this show is a train wreck.
That's true.
So maybe it was a blessing in disguise that you're not on it and you could do this.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
have
I mean?
before. I definitely have
It
because
sucks not being on TV. I get that. I try to be on TV. I tried. So I just no one who gets it more than me. I auditioned for shows and I got almost there, like Big Brother, and it just didn't take. So I get it. Trust me, I get it.
I
And
mean,
maybe, if you want, we could do different and you could tell your story about your 90-day fiance life, off of the camera. And you know
yeah.
I have a big spread, and I know you have 15,000 followers on Instagram. How many IG followers? I mean, IG. How many TikTok followers do you have?
I think like 129, like 129,000 or
That's
100.
a lot of people.
Yeah. Um, but it's like I've definitely thought of that too. I'm like, maybe it was a blessing in disguise, but like it's not like I was like trying to like be on TV and really put myself out there. It was just kind of like, you know what? We have a pretty interesting story. Like, when do you ever meet like a young hot widow who like starts dating somebody like overseas? And I thought our story was like interesting. That's why I reached out. Also, like I did love the show. Like I used to watch it religiously. And like binge watch. If I didn't watch for a while, I would like binge all the episodes, and it was like one of my favorite things to do. Lately I just haven't been watching it lately because it has become like more and more like just kind of, yeah, like you said, like trash TV. So I kind of stopped. And also I feel like it's, I don't want to say like repetitive, but it's just kind of like, okay, here's another story, let's hear their story, and then oh, more drama. Okay, like I don't know, I feel like it's rare that you see somebody work out on that show or who has been.
Before 90 days, like the rate of return is like 0.01%. So I mean, like it is what it is on that one. Like,
I will.
before 90 days is the worst of all of them, because it's just people normally who just want to be on TV and like, oh, I want to be on TV and promote my brand.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna date somebody, and go there for like 3 days, and oh, it's not working, and then we go home, and then you get like hundreds of thousands of followers from it, and like,
yeah,
endorsements and stuff like that. And that's really the gist of before. That's why I can't stand the show.
yeah.
Especially before is my least favorite of all the spinoffs. I hate it.
That's so funny. Um, you know who I wonder about though? I can't remember her name. She was from Brazil. Very pretty little.
Larissa
No,
Marini.
Larissa, I love her. I feel like her and I would be like best friends, be like, you know, but no, she was from like one of the very first seasons, and she dated like a very nice straight laced like
The guy with Alan, what's her name? Like the first or second season.
yeah, she
What's
was
the
so
guy? The one who's with Alan. Oh my God, what's her name? Help me, guys, out in the chat.
yeah, I can't remember her name, but it's like, are they still together?
With the
Like
Mormon.
yeah, Norman. Yeah.
Yes, they're still together, and they have like 3 kids.
Oh, that's so great to
They
hear.
do, and they're happy. Oh my God, what's her name? I
I can't,
cannot think of it. I know that her husband's name is Alan, and I can't think of her first name. And it's
you'll think of it. It's gonna pop into your head like so.
guys in the chat, help me out. Like, you're failing me right now. What first season of 90 Day Fiance? Is it a K name?
I can't even remember because yeah, it was like was no, it wasn't like
I have
Karina.
to go to Google. Hold on.
But I always wondered about them because you only saw them on like what, like one, maybe two seasons, and then you never heard from them again.
Curiolum.
Oh yeah,
That's it. I knew it was a K name, and I googled it. Guys in the chat, you suck. Sorry.
yeah.
Curiolum and Alan. That's it.
Okay. I was just like, because they seemed like they were gonna work.
I love everybody in the chat. Sorry. I'm sorry. It was a weird question. Susie Bella, yeah, you got to answer me. But it's okay. Yeah, but they're actually happy and together and married still. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing to hear. What about that one? What about Russ and the was
Russ
she
and Power is still good.
okay, that's good.
Hey, Niecy. Russ and Power is still together. It's the people. I'm a little hard on most new cast members because, like, most people who come on this show now just want to promote a brand. Like, everybody has an Instagram account, like, and wait till you hear this when Amanda and Razvan guy, like, he's like, a model, an actor, a porn star, an entertainer. Just like, did you watch The Other Way with Ariella and Biniam? Biniam was a
Yeah,
juggler, a poet,
yeah,
uh, uh, Debbie and Oshama. Oh, he's a poet. He's a, everybody just wants to be on this show because they're just, what happened to like people who worked at like Home Depot? Like, where are the people that like, I work at Stop and Shop and my husband's an accountant and we want to be like on the show? Why does everybody on this show now have to be like, well, I'm an entertainer and this, that, and the other, and it makes me believe it less and less, and that's like, why I've been like a
I
little bit
mean, my
hard.
now is that girl who sells farts in the jar.
Oh, Stephanie. Oh, don't get me started on her. I mean, and this is where this show has gone to, and that's the more that they have people like on like Stephanie Fartjar, and aspiring singers and actors, and it's just people who want to make money, and it's not like it used to be back,
Yeah.
when the show first started, and that's why I've been so hard on it lately because I sold my soul to the devil. I just write my name in blood to make me famous to talk about this goddamn show, and I'm paying for it in
So like
spades.
when okay, I'm not gonna lie. When I did like first like you know, apply for it. I kind of thought of that too, but then at the same time, I was like, but we really do have a cool story. Like, and also it's kind of like, well, maybe if they see him on the show, like maybe it would be easier for us to get him like a visa or something, maybe they would know something to like push a process along. So it's kind of like we were trying to yes, get him here or me over there. And I was like, maybe if they see that it's being documented or whatever, they'd be like, okay, yes, come into our country. We'll help the process. Because in Romania, it's so easy for me to go over there and move over there. And like, especially if I was like filming or something, they would probably be more open and welcoming to it. But like, to get him over here, I was like, well, maybe, we can apply for it and maybe they'll like speed the process along because like I don't know. It was just like
No, it's a good thought. Like, it's not in like, it's a normal thought to think like, we're on the show, it's being documented, we're not faking. Like,
yeah.
so no, I understand that. I get it. But there are certain people, that are still waiting for, like, look at John and Rachel, they were on before 90 days. Like, one of the only true couples who I actually believed, and John is still in England and still waiting to come here. And that was 2018. So 5 years later, they're still waiting.
Oh, that's crazy.
And there were like, circumstances to why he's there still. But like, at the same time, like you brought him on the show. It's but I would love for you when you get a chance to watch. So it's Saturday night right now. Well, it's Sunday morning. So tomorrow night, and they'll be playing the second episode. I'm not sure if Amanda and Rosvan are going to be on it because they don't show every couple on every episode. So
Wow, I should go over there on Tuesday and like start looking for him. I'll be like, let's find this guy. Me and Claudia, we're gonna go
yeah,
find him.
he's a big old star, like so it shouldn't be that
Right.
uh
That's so funny.
He's the
Okay.
Ron Jeremy of Bucharest.
Oh
So
my.
there you go.
So when I spoke to Claudio and I was telling him and he was like, "Oh my God, like they totally stole our story." And so he looked him up right away and he's like, "Who the fuck is this?" Like I've never even heard of him. Like so I don't know. But you know what though? In Bucharest, and I'm sure this goes true for men too, lots of women prostitute, escort, whatever over there. If you see a beautiful Romanian woman wearing
Like
like
Nadia Comaneci. I think about Romania. I think I
yeah.
hear Romania. I think gymnasts. That's what I think. First off,
Well, I mean, so like when we were over there and we were talking about like me potentially moving over there, that was one thing we discussed was like because my daughter loves gymnastics and they were like Claudio was like we can put her in gymnastics here because we have the best gymnasts here and whatever and
true.
but so back to what I was saying is like if you see a gorgeous Romanian woman wearing designer everything, she's a prostitute because they get flown out to different countries by these rich men. They do their job, they get sent back with lots of money, and that's how they take care of their families. That's how they like buy all their designer stuff, or they get it bought for them because these women they are beautiful, and that's how they bankroll their like lavish lifestyles. Because over there, if you're not doing that, you're not making like ends meet really.
Well,
So
I think like this is the first time, and correct me if I'm wrong. I really that this is the first time we've had Romania in play. I don't think there's anybody who's ever on a show from Romania before, and I've,
that's
I've watched every episode of every franchise almost, and I can't not remember anybody ever being from Romania at
right.
all.
They've had like Ukraine, Moldova,
Yeah,
like all other Eastern European countries, what Bulgaria.
like Andre who talked like this.
Yeah, Andre. Yes.
Andre,
And so yeah, Moldova is a neighboring country of Romania for
right?
sure. Um
Look at you knowing your geography. I like you even more now.
well, which is because like so Claudio, the university that he went to in Romania, there was a ton of Moldovan people and he hates those people. He's like they're fucking dirty, they stink, they're gross because like he says they're just like slobs. I don't know Moldovan people personally, but
All I
he
know is Andre. That's all I know.
yeah,
That's it. That's all I got from Moldova is Andre.
I
Um,
mean he like living off of his wife's dad's money though.
well,
I don't know.
I'm
That's just
yeah,
the way
well,
it look.
I'd
So
say yeah. Look, he's been doing pretty well for himself off the Potthas's money for like and did they ever talk to you about pay? Just curious.
No, they didn't. No, we never made it that far. So it was just kind of like, oh yeah, we love your story. We spoke for like I think we talked for like 2 hours. Um, what did it say? Doesn't Libby say that they speak Romanian in Moldova? I have no idea.
I think they speak mostly Russian, right? Like, pineapple. I remember her saying that. You know, or Ukrainian. It's like that whole block right
Wait,
there.
so hear me.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just like Claudio is texting me and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Is he watching?
I don't think so. I need to tell him that he should probably get on here. Right. Let me see.
Well,
Hello.
let's save Claudio for like another live, like because it's already like 1:05 here, and I would rather have if he wants to come up, both I would love that, and you guys can talk about like what you both went through, dating for years like that.
He has plenty to say because I have ran that guy through the ringer. Poor guy. I'm actually really surprised that he's even still around because to deal with like a widowed single mom is not easy. Like there's so much stuff and like emotion that I go through because it's hard. Like me being here by myself, doing the mom and dad roles, and then like just trying to maintain a household and work and take care of my kids and do it, you know, thank God for the help with the help of my family, but like I do most of it alone because I want to not seem like the mom that just throws her kids off on her family and just takes off and does whatever. Although I will
Good.
be this weekend, but or like you when I leave him. But
And
that's
wait till you watch. Like you haven't watched Amanda yet. Like I was kind of hoping that you did, but like wait till you see like the first episode. Like I don't know what tomorrow's episode is gonna bring. Because they might not be on it because again they don't show every couple on every episode. But I think she'll probably be back on tomorrow night's episode because they started out with her. So I kind of know how production works, but I could be wrong. I've been
yeah.
wrong before. But
So myself caught up. I will watch it and then I'll watch Sunday, and see, and then Monday we'll discuss.
yeah, I would love to hear your input on it. And Julia, thank you so much for coming up. You weren't my original guest, but you were a better guest than the one I was going to have up anyways. So thank you for coming up. You really saved the day for me. And
No, honestly, I kind of feel like if they did steal my story, like it should be out there. Like, hey, look, I'm the OG. Like, this is what happened.
well, you know what? You watch that episode, the first episode, and you'll know better than anybody else if they, it's very
Yeah.
similar. I mean, it's identical. Like if it was my cousin Vinny, I would say identical. Like, it's the same thing. Like it's identical.
Yeah.
And for you to like not be on the show and her to be there and your story, I feel is a lot more okay. Let me like run something by you because you're gonna watch this. Amanda, her story, they have her husband's cremated ashes and like an urn or whatever with his picture on it, and the kids walk around the house with it. They take him in the car. What do you think about that?
I mean, I wouldn't let my kids do that.
Okay, thank God. I was hoping you were gonna go the other way with that.
Yeah, no, because to me, it's like you don't know if they're gonna drop it and it's gonna go flying everywhere, the dust and stuff like that. And I understand, people grieve in their own ways. Not every grieving story is like similar, but that's like morbid.
Beyond morbid. And my mother was cremated. Like it's like this hits home to me like on 8 million different levels. That's probably why I'm so mad about like what we're seeing on TV. But I don't want what you watch it. You watch if you can watch it now, watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
right now.
watch it, and then Monday night you can come back up, and I would love to hear your input on it.
Okay, so it's on. So,
All
oh
right.
my
Thank
goodness.
you so much for coming up and saving the day.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun, and I'm
You're
looking.
more than welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll
And if
talk.
I can help you in any way, I'd be happy to do it.
I appreciate
Just in the chat. Have a great night,
you
and I
as
will
well.
see you all next time I see you. Julie, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay,
Good night,
thanks.
everybody.